What if the reason your life hasn't changed yet is not because you lack opportunities, but because you see yourself as someone who has nothing to offer? What if success doesn't begin with action, but with identity? At a crowded city bus terminal, where engines roared and people rushed toward destinations they believed mattered, sat a man named Adil. Every day he occupied the same corner, blending into the background like an object people learned not to see. Same posture, same lowered eyes, same outstretched hand. Life had taught him one thing very clearly: some people move forward and some people wait. Over time, he stopped questioning which group he belonged to. He believed, without anger or protest, that he belonged to the second group. Adil survived on whatever coins strangers decided to give. Some days were better, most were not, but he had stopped expecting fairness from the world. He never blamed people for ignoring him because blame required hope, and hope felt dangerous. He accepted it as reality, the kind you don't fight because you think it's permanent. In his mind, he wasn't unlucky or cursed by fate. He was simply empty-handed, and empty hands were meant to receive, not create. One afternoon, a man stood near the platform who felt different from the rest, calm, well-dressed, unhurried. While everyone else looked tense or distracted, this man seemed fully present. Adil noticed how people unconsciously stepped aside for him, as if his confidence cleared space before him. Something inside Adil whispered that this man would help. Adil approached and held out his hand. It was a movement so familiar that it no longer felt personal, just mechanical. He had done it thousands of times before, without expectation, without emotion. Instead of giving money, the man asked a quiet but unsettling question. "Tell me," he said, "what do you give in return?" His voice wasn't harsh or mocking, but it carried weight. The question confused Adil. It didn't fit the script of his life. He answered honestly because honesty was all he had. "I don't have anything to give," he said. The man nodded slowly, as if he had already known the answer. "Then that is exactly why nothing changes," he said calmly. There was no judgment in his tone, only certainty. He explained that in life, nothing moves without exchange. Value moves value, effort meets effort, and contribution invites response. Without another word, the man boarded his bus and disappeared, leaving behind silence and a thought Adil couldn't escape. That night, Adil didn't sleep. The noise of the terminal faded, but the question stayed awake inside him, repeating itself in the dark. For the first time in years, he wondered whether his biggest limitation was not poverty or circumstances, but perception. For 2 days, Adil didn't beg. He simply observed people from his usual corner, watching them move through life with urgency and purpose. He noticed their faces, their impatience, their exhaustion, and their quiet need to feel acknowledged, even if only for a second. It became clear to him that everyone was carrying something invisible. On the 3rd day, his eyes landed on something small near a roadside stall. Simple handmade paper cards, colorful and cheap, ignored by most passers-by. An idea formed, not out of hope, but understanding. It wasn't a dream or a miracle. It was practical, grounded, and possible. For the first time, Adil didn't think about what he lacked. He thought about what he could start with. That day, when someone placed a coin into his hand, Adil did something unfamiliar. He looked up, really looked, and smiled. Then he handed the person a small card in return, without expectation or emotion. Instead of giving money, the reaction surprised him. The man paused, then smiled back and said thank you, as if something human had just passed between them. That single word felt heavier than any money Adil had ever received. It wasn't just gratitude, it was recognition. For a moment, he wasn't invisible. He wasn't pitied. He was acknowledged. He repeated the same exchange throughout the day, coin for card, card for coin. People slowed down instead of walking past. Some seemed confused, others amused, but most accepted. When Adil ran out of cards, the coins slowed again. When he had something to give, people stopped once more, proving something he had never noticed before. A pattern became clear. People were no longer giving out of pity or obligation. They were participating in an exchange, however small it was. Adil realized something powerful that day. People don't respond to need, they respond to value, even if that value is simple and imperfect. Days passed and Adil grew intentional. He chose better cards, paid attention to details, and kept them clean. He learned when to speak and when silence worked better, when a smile mattered more than words. His posture changed without effort. His eyes lifted naturally, no longer fixed on the ground. One afternoon, the same well-dressed man appeared again, watching quietly from a distance. Adil approached him with confidence and offered a card before asking for anything. The man smiled, handed him money, and said, "You've stopped waiting to be saved. That's when life begins to respond." The words felt like confirmation rather than advice. Adil stood there, heart racing. He felt something unfamiliar, control. He wasn't begging anymore, he was contributing, and that difference changed everything. That night, Adil asked himself a dangerous question. If I'm no longer a beggar, then who am I? The thought scared him more than hunger ever had. For years, being the man who asks protected him from expectation. No pressure, no responsibility, no need to grow beyond survival. But once value entered his life, comfort disappeared. Growth demanded effort, and effort demanded belief. There was no returning to ignorance now. He had seen too much to pretend otherwise. Adil stopped returning to the terminal daily. Instead, he observed small sellers and street vendors, studying how they worked and how they spoke. He noticed how confidence alone attracted people, even before the product did. He began to understand how identity shaped behavior, and behavior shaped results. Slowly, he improved his offerings with better paper, clearer messages, and more intention behind each exchange. He didn't call it success because success felt too large and distant, but he stopped calling himself helpless, and that alone felt revolutionary. The label he had carried for years quietly fell away. Weeks turned into months. Small earnings became consistent income. Consistency became planning, and planning became vision. Adil no longer waited for life to happen to him. He moved with purpose, even if the steps were small. 6 months later, Adil passed through the same terminal, not to sit, but to travel. Clean clothes, upright posture, a steady walk. A stranger recognized him and hesitated, trying to place a memory. "Weren't you?" the man asked. Adil smiled. Once. The word carried distance, not shame. When asked what changed, his answer was simple and honest. "I stopped asking what the world could give me and started asking what I could offer it." Most people wait. They wait to feel confident before acting, not realizing confidence follows action. They wait for opportunity before preparing, unaware that preparation creates opportunity. In that waiting, life quietly passes them by. Adil's story is not about money or paper cards, it's about identity. Life does not respond to desperation or excuses, it responds to value. Value doesn't mean perfection, talent, or resources, it means contribution, no matter how small or imperfect it begins. The moment you decide that you have something to offer, your posture changes, your voice changes, your choices change, and slowly, almost quietly, your future begins to shift in ways you didn't expect. You don't become confident after success. You succeed after changing how you see yourself. If you see yourself as small, life agrees. If you see yourself as capable, life tests you. If you see yourself as valuable, life responds. So ask yourself the question that changed everything. What do I offer? Ask it honestly, without fear or excuses, because the moment you answer that truthfully, your old life ends and a new one begins. If this story gave you a lesson or changed how you think, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this reminder today. If you want more powerful stories that teach real-life lessons, stay with us. Your mindset might be the next thing that changes.